Hey guys, and welcome back to the Flower House JA. The full-time whistle has gone and we are now in baking time. So if you are looking for some sweet treats that are sure to score a goal or maybe not with your guests this World Cup season, stick around, like, share, and let's go. First, we are going to start off with 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, which is essentially going to be the base of our cookies. We are also going to need 1/2 cup of butter, which will really give our cookies that buttery feel. 1 large egg is also going to add to these World Cup cookies. Then we're going to follow that up with 3/4 cups of granulated sugar, 1/4 teaspoon of salt. We are also going to add 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder, which will be our rising agent, and it will help our cookies to spread, along with 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. We're also going to add a tablespoon of cocoa powder. And last but not least, teaspoon of vanilla. Now that we have our ingredients, let's kick things off. To our mixing bowl, we are going to first cream our butter and our sugar. While creaming our butter and sugar, the aim is to just ensure that everything is incorporated really well until you cannot separate the butter from the sugar. We want to wait until we get a consistency that is looking something along the lines of this. Now we are going to add in our egg, and then we are going to take a whisk and whisk our egg into our creamed butter and sugar mixture. Once we have successfully creamed our egg into our butter and our sugar mixture, you will see it looking like this. We'll add some vanilla, just a dash for flavor, and then we'll give that a nice whisk as well. If you are enjoying this recipe so far, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We're gonna kick things off again with some baking powder. We'll follow that up with some baking soda. And last but not least, some salt to really bring out the flavor. And then we are going to add in our flour. Now we are just going to grab a paddle and we are just going to scrape the sides of our bowl and fold in the flour into our wet mixture. Here's a little time lapse of me doing that process. Don't worry, there are no attackers or defenders on this field, but you are surely gonna have to work to make sure that this is nice and combined. You want to scrape the bottom of the bowl so that you get all of that flour and just really combine all of the ingredients. So attack that bowl, don't let it score you out. Now we are going to separate our dough into 2 equal parts. The reason why we're doing this is because one side is where we're going to add the cocoa and the other side we're not going to add the cocoa. So you can see that contrast in the color, which is really going to give us that football or soccer, forgive me Americans, or soccer look that we are looking for. So we're just gonna add our cocoa powder in, and then we are gonna mix everything and combine again. Let me know down in the comment section below, who is your side for this World Cup? Are you Team Argentina? Are you Team France? Are you feeling Brazil? Did you even watch the World Cup? Are you interested? Let me know down in the comment section. My team is France. I personally think that they're gonna win this year. If you don't believe me, then you can fight with me in the comment section. After we have successfully combined our cocoa powder into our cookie dough, we are just going to cover both doughs and we are going to put them in our refrigerator for about 10 to 15 minutes. When we take our doughs out of the refrigerator, we are going to take a piece of our cocoa dough and we're just going to roll that into a ball in the palm of our hands. And then we are going to take a piece of our vanilla dough and also roll it into a mini ball into our hands. And then we are going to place 5 of those vanilla dough balls around our cocoa dough, which is in the center. Once we have surrounded our cocoa dough with 5 vanilla balls, we are going to follow that up with cocoa balls that we are going to place in the gaps. Then I'm going to take my hand and I'm going to press down on the cookie dough balls, and this is where our soccer or football shape will really come into play. You can also use a rolling pin for this process, but make sure that you flour your rolling pin so that it doesn't stick. After which I'm going to take a circular cookie cutter and I'm going to cut this into a circle and remove the excess pieces. Here you can see my soccer ball is really taking shape, so we are just going to continue that process until we have all of our cookies. Now it's baking time. We are going to add these cookies to our oven for 350 degrees at about 10 to 15 minutes. Once our cookies are fresh out of the oven, you can see that they have spread a little and they're not their circular shape that they were previously. You can always just fresh out of the oven, grab your cookie cutter again and cut those into circles. You want to make sure it's fresh out of the oven because the longer your cookie stays and cools, you cannot really cut them into a shape anymore, because fresh out of the oven, you know, they're soft and still taking shape, and so you can manipulate that shape. So make sure that you do this process fresh out of the oven if you want really circular soccer or football looking cookies. And there you have it. These soccer slash footballs are looking oh so amazing and ready for your next World Cup watch party. These are the perfect sweet treat to go along with your pizza or wings or whatever you'll be eating or munching on when you are watching the game. You can also munch on these cookies. They are creative and are sure to get your guests talking. So thank you guys again for staying to the end of this video. If you like the video, go ahead and like it and subscribe and share with a friend, and don't forget to let me know in the comments who you are supporting this World Cup season. Thank you and bye.